This week's Common Folks profile almost never stops running, and I almost mean that literally. He's the Conservatives' marathon man when he's not playing hockey or tennis. Here's the story of Patrick Brown. Well, he's the Conservative marathon man. That's why we are here at the Terry Fox Athletic Park in Ottawa on a track with Patrick Brown, the third-term MP from Barrie, Ontario. Welcome to the Commons Folks segment, Patrick. Now, hang on. You were going to run the New York Marathon.
I was.
And it was canceled because of Hurricane Sandy, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, there was that horrible incident, so the marathon was canceled for the very first time.
Did they make the right call?
I think so. You know, it obviously, you can't prepare for something that enormous, and it's unfortunate, but I'm sure next year will be extra special.
How many marathons have you done?
I've done 7 now, and the first thing I did when they canceled was Google what other marathons were on. And fortunately, there was one in Hamilton that same weekend. But I love running, and it's a great way to stay fit and raise funds for important causes.
What's your time on a marathon? What's I don't even know what a good time is.
Well,
take me 2 days.
I vary. This year I did 3:11 in Toronto and 3:25 or 3:26 in Hamilton.
Good grief! I couldn't do 10K in that. All right, your fellow MPs do say you like fast sports. You like hockey as well, and so you're a real athletic kind of guy. But tell us a little bit about your riding, that you come from Barrie, Ontario. What do people know? I think Stockwell Day was born there, if I'm not mistaken, but that's not the...
Stock was born in Barrie. He's the person I started running with. We actually did the Great Wall of China Marathon together, which was a bit of an experience because it was in heat and uphill. But Barrie is on the shores of Lake Simcoe, Kempenfelt Bay. It is a gorgeous place, and I like to say it's the heartland of Canada, but Merv Tweed may argue that's actually Brandon, but it's a beautiful spot. I love going back home.
I had to laugh. I was looking through your bio, and one thing you were in was an As Prime Minister I Would essay contest winner. I think it's an essay contest. Magna puts it on. So, you wrote this essay, or you wrote some sort of narrative about why you wanted to be Prime Minister. Why did you want to be Prime Minister? What would you be like?
Well, at the time, I was also city councillor, so I sort of had I was 22, and I had a focus on municipal infrastructure and how to finance some of the crumbling infrastructure needs. But you've done your research. That was a long time ago.
I know, but what did you say in your... what made you win that one? There was only 10 winners, I think, on the contest, and it was done by Magna Corp, as I remember.
Well, they were looking for new ideas, and I took the approach of a fiscal conservative, but at the same time using infrastructure to enable municipalities to do a lot more and stimulate the economy. But a lot of that's already happened now, so it's neat to see a Prime Minister actually implement the type of stuff we were talking about years and years ago.
I won't even ask you if you want to be Prime Minister one day, because I know the position's still filled. But having said that, tell me a little bit about where you see the government going in the next 5 years. What do you think are the pressing priorities that need to be addressed?
Well, I think there's numerous pressing priorities, but I think debt and job creation are probably the 2 most important ones. But at the same time, I think of health, and I think with an aging population...
Now, you're big on health, aren't you?
Well, I look at my own riding. I see a hospital that's over capacity. I see thousands of people without a family doctor, and I see more and more Canadians falling ill with neurological disorders. So I think there's some great clouds on the horizon on the health level that I think we need to act on very quickly.
One thing that's kind of current right now is you're with the Canada-India Parliamentary Association. India is big. I mean, we're looking at over a billion people, and Canada is obviously exploring new trade opportunities in there. Are we late to the game getting into India, or have we missed some potential, or what's yet to come?
I think we've been very aggressive over the last several years on courting India, and I think we've seen that with the Prime Minister's 2 trips and the opening of new trade offices. But yes, much of the world was already there, and I think that's why it's so important that we have such an aggressive action right now, because if you look at Canada's trade, 81% with the U.S., it's imperative that we find ways to diversify that.
No question. Now, give us one strange, bizarre, interesting Patrick Brown factoid that nobody would know except your closest friends.
Well, I think most of my close friends think I have the most unusual breakfast in the world.
Huh?
I have a Red Bull every morning, and a power bar and a fiber bar, and it gives me lots of energy for the day, but most people think having a Red Bull in the morning is a little bit unorthodox, and my sister, who's a dentist, tells me that it's probably not the best approach to my teeth either.
It's not a health food diet. Well, congratulations on running, running for office, of course, but running physically as well. Keep it up.
Well, thanks for having me on.
That's all for Power Play today. You're all caught up on all things from Parliament Hill. Thanks for tuning in. We're back here same time on the same channel tomorrow. We leave you now with